I'm 72 years old, and I need to tell you about the 3 sentences that should make you run the other way if a man says them to you after 65. Not walk away. Run. Because I ignored all 3, told myself I was being too picky, too suspicious, that I should give him a chance, and it cost me 2 years of my life and almost all of my savings. His name was Kenneth. He was 68, charming, said all the right things at first, and then slowly he started saying the wrong things. 3 specific things that I explained away because I was lonely, and he made me feel wanted. If you are dating after 65 or thinking about it, you need to know what these 3 sentences mean, because they do not mean what they sound like they mean. And by the time you figure that out, you have already given too much. Let me tell you exactly what happened, because the warning signs were there from the beginning. I just did not want to see them. I met Kenneth at a community center dance in 2020, right after things started opening back up from the pandemic. My husband had passed 3 years earlier. Cancer. 34 years of marriage, and then he was gone, and I was alone in a way I had never been alone before. For those 3 years, I did not even think about dating. The idea felt wrong, disloyal somehow, like I was supposed to spend the rest of my life being faithful to a memory. But then my daughter sat me down one afternoon and said something that changed my thinking. She said, "Mom, Dad would not want you to be alone forever. He would want you to be happy." And I knew she was right. My husband was not a jealous man. He loved me, and love does not end with death, but it also does not require you to stop living. So I started going out more, joined a book club, started attending things at the community center, not looking for anyone, just trying to be around people again. That is where I met Kenneth. He asked me to dance, old-fashioned, gentlemanly. He was tall, well-dressed, had a nice smile. We talked between songs. He was a widower, too. Said his wife had passed 5 years ago. Heart attack. He knew what it was like to lose someone, to start over, to wonder if there was anything left worth starting over for. We exchanged numbers. He called 2 days later and asked me to dinner. I said yes. The first few months were wonderful, or at least they seemed wonderful. He took me to nice restaurants, brought me flowers, called when he said he would, opened doors, pulled out chairs, all the things men used to do that most do not do anymore. I felt seen again, wanted, like I was not just a widow in her late 60s, but an actual woman someone could desire. My friends were happy for me. My daughter was cautious but supportive. Everyone said I deserved this, deserved to be happy again. And then Kenneth said the first thing, the first sentence that should have made me leave right then. We were having dinner at my house. I had cooked. We were talking about our lives, our past, getting to know each other deeper than surface conversation. And he said, almost casually, like it was nothing, "I am not good with money, never have been. That is why I need someone sensible like you." I remember laughing it off. Thought he was being self-deprecating, humble. I said something like, "Well, I've always been careful with money. My husband and I saved for years." He smiled, said, "I knew you were smart." And that was it. That was the moment, that sentence. I need someone sensible like you. Not, I admire that about you. Not, I wish I was better at it. Need. Like my value was in my ability to manage what he could not or would not manage himself. But I did not see it then. I explained it away, told myself everyone has weaknesses, that relationships are about balancing each other out, that maybe I could help him. The second thing he said came a month later. We were talking about the future, what we wanted, whether this was serious or just companionship. He looked at me very earnestly and said, "I'm not looking to get married again. I just want someone to share my life with. No legal complications." At the time, I thought that sounded reasonable. I was not sure I wanted to get married again either. Marriage is complicated at our age. There are assets, children from previous marriages, inheritance issues. Keeping things simple seems smart. But here's what that sentence actually meant. and I did not figure this out until much later. What he was really saying was, I want all the benefits of having you in my life without any of the legal commitment or financial responsibility that comes with marriage. He wanted someone to cook for him, clean for him, keep him company, be there when he needed something. But he did not want to tie his finances to mine, did not want me to have any legal claim to anything he had, did not want it to be official in any way that mattered. And the reason he did not want that was because he was already planning to take from me without giving anything back. The third thing he said was the worst one, and I did not hear it until I was already 6 months in, already attached, already imagining a future with him. We were talking about his expenses. He had mentioned a few times that money was tight, that his pension was not enough, that he had some debts from when his wife was sick, medical bills, he said. Thousands of dollars he was still paying off. I felt bad for him, wanted to help, so I offered to lend him some money, not a lot. A few $100s to help with a bill he said he could not cover that month. He looked relieved, grateful, and then he said, "You're the only person I can count on. My kids do not help me. They think I should figure it out on my own. The only person I can count on." That sentence is designed to do one thing: make you feel special, make you feel needed, make you feel like you are the hero in his story. But here's the truth. If his own children, people who have known him their entire lives, will not help him financially, there is a reason. And that reason is not that they are cruel or selfish. It is that they know something you do not know yet. They know he will take and never pay back. They know he will make himself your responsibility and then drain you dry. But I did not see that. I felt special. I felt needed. So I gave him the money. And then he needed more. A few weeks later, another bill. Then his car needed repairs. Then his roof was leaking and he did not have the money to fix it. Every time he looked at me with those sad eyes and said he had no one else, that I was the only person who understood, the only person who cared. Over the course of a year, I gave Kenneth close to $15,000. Money I had saved. Money my husband and I had put away for my future. Money I was supposed to use for myself, for my life, for emergencies. Kenneth always said he would pay me back. Always said as soon as his situation improved, as soon as he got his finances together, he would give me every cent. He never did. Not once. My daughter started noticing. She would ask questions. Where was Kenneth living? Why was he always having financial emergencies? Why were his kids not involved in his life? I got defensive, told her she did not understand, that he had been through a lot, that I was helping someone I cared about. But deep down, I was starting to see it too. The pattern, the way every conversation somehow circled back to what he needed. Money, help, support, but never what I needed. He never asked how I was doing, never offered to help me with anything, never contributed, just took. The breaking point came when he asked me to co-sign a loan. He said he needed a new car, that his credit was not good enough on his own, that if I co-signed, he could get the loan and he would make all the payments. I would not have to pay anything, just sign my name. I said no. For the first time in our entire relationship, I said no, and everything changed. He got angry, not loud, not violent, but cold, distant. He stopped calling as much, stopped making plans. When I asked what was wrong, he said he was disappointed that I did not trust him, that after everything we had been through, I still did not believe in him. He was turning it around on me, making me the bad guy for protecting myself. That is when I finally saw it, all of it. The 3 things he had said were not just sentences. They were a strategy. I'm not good with money. I need someone sensible like you. Translation: I need someone to pay for my life because I will not manage my own. I'm not looking to get married. No legal complications. Translation: I want all the benefits without any of the responsibility or commitment. You're the only person I can count on. Translation: I have burned every other bridge, and now you are the only one left who has not figured out what I am doing. I ended it, told him I could not do it anymore. He tried to guilt me, said I was abandoning him, that he thought I loved him. And maybe I did love him in a way. But love is not supposed to cost you everything while giving nothing back. I never got my money back. $15,000 gone. He stopped answering my calls, blocked my number eventually. I thought about taking legal action, but I had no proof. No signed agreements, just his word, which turned out to be worth nothing. I am 72 now. That was 2 years ago. And I have spent those 2 years thinking about what I missed, how I let myself be used, how I ignored every red flag, because I wanted to believe that someone wanted me for me, and not for what I could give them. Here is what I learned. And I need you to hear this if you're dating after 65, or thinking about it. If a man tells you he is bad with money and needs someone sensible, he is telling you that you will be paying for his life, not helping him, paying for him, because he has no intention of managing his own responsibilities. If a man tells you he does not want to get married or have legal complications, he's telling you he wants access to you without commitment. He wants you to act like a wife without any of the protections or securities that come with being a wife. And if a man tells you that you are the only person he can count on, especially if his own family will not help him, he is telling you that everyone else has already figured out what he is, and you are his last option. None of these things mean he loves you. They mean he needs you, and need is not love. Need is use. After 65, you do not have time to waste on someone who sees you as a resource instead of a person. You do not have years to give away to someone who will take everything and leave you with nothing. I gave Kenneth 2 years and $15,000. I will never get out of the back. Do not make the same mistake I did. Listen when men tell you who they are, because they will tell you in small sentences, in passing comments, in requests that seem reasonable until you step back and see the pattern. If you hear those 3 sentences, do not explain them away. Do not tell yourself you're being too judgmental. Do not think you can fix him or help him or change him. Just leave. While you still have your savings, while you still have your dignity, while you still have time to find someone who wants you for you and not for what you can give them. I am 72 years old. I am single again, and I am okay with that, because being alone is better than being used. And if I ever date again, the second I hear any of those 3 sentences, I am gone. Subscribe if this helped you see something you needed to see.